So we've refitted the prosthetic leg in the lab now, and we're about to take it for a test drive. Come on in.
Okay, Tony, we're ready to proceed. At this point, we're going to put a nylon sheet over the liner to help wick the air out of the system. So we'll pull this up.
What were you expecting, Tony, when you first knew that you were going to need to have an artificial limb?
I was expecting the worst. I had not seen many people with an artificial limb, and to be quite honest with you, I thought I was going to be wheelchair bound for the rest of my life. And Wayne just kept saying no. And matter of fact, when he did the first fitting, he said, "You're going to be walking just any day now." So, and sure enough, it come true. And then the bad part about it is my legs shrank faster than I think anybody thought it was going to.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I was up to 20 plies of socks, and then you've got another, what is that, 18 mils of
Urethane. Yep.
And it got to where it was just uncomfortable to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So then Wayne, I come in last week, he says it's time to do a new socket fitting, which that's what he's done. That's kind of where we're here. And I just put it on a minute ago and it felt great.
Now, is this something that will have to be done in another few months as well because of the leg, or because it's going to be weight bearing now, it'll not atrophy as quickly?
The vacuum system will help to reduce the amount. It will help to control the volume of his leg a little bit. He's probably still got some healing that's going to continue to occur, and we may be looking at another socket 6 to 9 months from now. At that point, he should be pretty stabilized to the point where he'll have a device that should last somewhere in 3 to 5 year range.
So now this looks different than what you left with.
That's right.
Tell us what you've done.
What we've done
you
is,
put it
well,
on.
the first thing that we did was Tony was feeling a little bit of pressure on his condyle, so we heated the socket and relieved this area. And then we added the vacuum system.
Okay.
And the way this works is there's an electronic pump that's attached down here at the bottom. And we're going to put him into the prosthesis, roll this sealing sleeve up onto the upper thigh. What that does is creates an airtight seal on the upper thigh. We have an airtight seal inside the socket, and then Tony, you're going to flip this little button right here. You're going to hear a little whoop as the air evacuates out of the system, and the system's good to go. So let's put
See it in action.
See what
Yeah.
happens. Then we're going to push down into the device. Try to get yourself seated as firmly as you can into the bottom. That's it, just like you would with your pin system. Then we roll the sealing sleeve up over the knee.
That's super tight.
It's not super tight, it's snug.
And it's going to help create that vacuum as well.
That's correct. What it does, it seals on the upper thigh here. And by creating the seal, we create the vacuum. Okay, so at this point, we've got the prosthesis suspended, but there's still some displacement going on. Okay? So I'm going to get your crutches here and ask you to stand up again. That's it. Got him underneath you there. Okay, so now we've got him down inside the prosthesis. We're going to turn the vacuum on.
What do those numbers mean?
That means that we are obtaining vacuum as he puts weight down into the socket.
What are you feeling, Tommy? Do you feel anything?
You feel like a little air bubble.
And now we've attained vacuum. As you can see, the sleeve is sealed in around the top of the socket. The prosthesis is now very intimately attached to him. It's not going to move.
I don't have any more displacement.
Right.
When I move my knee, the foot moves.
Previously, when he was in a locking system, which we started him out with initially because of the expected volume changes, he could feel his limb moving inside the prosthesis. Now it's really attached to him. So now at this point, we're ready to get over between the parallel bars and do some alignment and get this thing correctly aligned for him.
I notice he has movement both side to side and front to back,
That's correct.
which is just like a regular ankle.
That's exactly right. The foot component we chose for Mr. Sykes is one which has dynamic response as well as multi-axial ankle function. He lives out near the lake in Louiisville, lives on a farm, and needed to have a foot that would be very ground compliant.
So that'll help with uneven terrain.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to have you hold right there for me. First thing I notice, he's got a little bit of a lateral lean, which tells me he's walking on the outside of his
I was
foot.
gonna say, I think it's pitch and toed a little bit,
And I'm gonna correct that.
but not much. And he won't give me one of these wrenches.
He's an engineer, so.
I'm an engineer and he
he's
won't
been
give me
very
one of these
controlled.
wrenches. Makes me mad. He knows I'll be working on it.
Okay, so before we get too far along, I'm gonna have you turn around, Tony, and let me take a look at your pelvis. Excuse me there.
Just
Grab
supposed to
one
do that?
tool. Yeah, we're gonna get some cycling on and off from time to time.
Yeah, I just heard the motor, so that was the vacuum,
That's the vacuum,
making
yeah.
itself tighter again.
That's correct. Anytime there's any seepage out of the system, it will automatically re-engage. So this is the first time he's ever taken steps without
Yeah, I saw you put your arms down.
any assistance.
I can't believe how good it feels.
Okay, turn around for me there.
I mean, it's like it's part of me now.
Now I want you to hold up right there for me. Put your weight even on both legs. That's it. I'm gonna get on your pelvis here. Make sure we're level. I've got a pelvic level. Sorry, I'm having to push. Make sure the pelvis is level. We've got that. We're good, and we can keep going. Okay, so we can walk some more.
So if one leg was a little longer than the other, then that bubble wouldn't be in the middle.
That's correct. It would show me that, and we'd make an adjustment either higher or lower as needed.
I don't have that toe pressure anymore either.
Wonderful. So here, hold your leg up. Here's what's really amazing. I mean, this device is truly a part of him now. There is no displacement whatsoever with the vacuum system. When he moves, the prosthesis moves. So he now has 100% control over this thing. Okay.
So is that measured in like foot-pounds of vacuum power, or how is that? I'm just
Is
curious.
per square inches of mercury. There's 18 pounds of mercury per square inch inside the socket right now.
I guess,
That can be adjusted as well, up and down, depending on, and if he's going to be sitting in a car for a long period of time, doesn't need that much vacuum, we can manually go to the device and lower that amount of vacuum so there's not as much squeeze or pressure on the limb over a long period of time.
now,
And on the other end of the scale, if you know you're going to get out in the farmyard and chase after the cows, you can crank it up all the way and know it's going to be really secure when you're out there walking in potholes and ditches and gravel and whatnot.
the difference between this one and the one I had before was from a patient standpoint, the biggest thing is I've got confidence in this one where I didn't have confidence in that one.
You felt unsteady.
Yeah, I was unsteady and I was afraid I was gonna fall all the time. That's the reason I had the crutches. But this thing feels great.
So I think with a little bit of practice, probably within a couple of weeks, we'll have Tony walking with a single cane or even unassisted, which I know is his ultimate goal.